Welcome back, everyone. I'm the Depressed Dior. This is Langrisser Mobile Apex Season 18. We are still in Bronze 1 as of this match. The last match that we just won gave 60 points, so one more should hopefully get me to Silver 3, and then I can probably call it a week. What's nice about being in Bronze 1, though, is you get to see stuff that you usually don't see too often, though this box is a bit more meta, as you can probably tell. Alright, so yeah, a lot of things that are dangerous. What's his name? Sorry, I blanked out on his name. We got Andriel here. He's probably the biggest threat. Zolde is also pretty dangerous. Things that stand out, let's see, 1, 2, 3 tanks. Well, at least 3 primary tanks. 3 healers. One of them with an act again. We also have S18 here with an act again. Alright. So also we can see Wedham here, but yeah, nothing else that stands out too much. So they banned Ice Melda. I immediately get rid of Andriel. I don't really have a reliable way of fighting against them, and I go ahead and grab Zolde since they let my opponent let me have her. They get rid of Awakened One. They get rid of Numia. They grab their Zolde. So at this point, I was like, all right, I'm going to get rid of all your act agains. Get rid of Eshian, get rid of Liana. This will also goad my opponent to probably pick a healer. I go ahead and grab Eshian at this point. My opponent does ban healers, but not the ones that I was concerned about. So I lose Rosenseal, lose Almeda. They grab Wedham. So at this point, if I really want to, I could ban all of their healers. But I don't. Instead, I ban Hilda because she negates crits, and I get rid of SP Bernhardt. SP Bernhardt with his AoE and fixed damage. He's also rather bulky and pretty good at tank busting because he's a really heavy bruiser. I grab Liana, so that guarantees I have 2 act agains. They go ahead and get rid of Silvaria, get rid of Grinshield, unfortunately. They then go ahead and grab the Awakened One. So at this point, I was like, all right, I'll get rid of your healers then. So at this point, I have 4 tanks and Lycoris. So I grab Lycoris. Lycoris kind of provides a little extra healing, but also the other thing that she can do is put out a bunch of damage terrain. And since my opponent doesn't really have many answers for gradual damage besides just passive healing, I'm hoping that'll be enough. So that leaves me with Hilda and Freya. And they grab Aldan which is unfortunate. So I go ahead and take care of Leon, SP Leon, get rid of Sword of Light and Shadow, and I grab Hilda. This is mainly because they have the Awakened One, who can swap people. And since I don't have really guaranteed immunity, I figured this was the best call. Out of my tanks, this is the only one that doesn't have a butterfly, but her passive kind of takes care of any swapping. And that just leaves their tanks, and they grab Lightbringer. So they have some passive healing, and that's about it. The only active heal is Isolde with her cooldown, the skill she gets from her cooldown reduction one. What do they call them? Yeah, which one is it? Sustenance Will, that's what it is. Alright, so, speaking of Isolde, all of her exclusives, essentially, Primordial Soul, Awakened Will, and then, of course, her 3C with Star Prismas. Liana, same thing as the previous 2 matches. Heal, Act Again, 3C with Windbloom Chanters. Eshian, all of her exclusives with Star Prismas. Lycoris, I went with Dark Dragon Breath, her 3C, and then her Transformation, and then went with Crystal Warlocks. My opponent is almost entirely physical with... actually, no, they're half and half. So they have a little bit of physical and magic, but I'm mostly concerned about the physical attacks because Isolde can bypass guard once she gets a certain will. Hilda, I went with her exclusives, essentially. She does have her faction buff, which will faction buff Lycoris. Dominating Formation 3C. I went with Royal Cavalry, which honestly... I think I should have probably went with something else. I probably should have went with the one, I think maybe Crystal, those Crystal Golems I think probably would have been better. That being said, with Cavalry and being Cavalry class, she's actually a 5 mobility tank, so we got that going for us. So right off the bat, I'm going to go ahead and start with Faction Buff, which unfortunately means I'm still at 1 range on my guard. And we're just going to wait and see. So the big thing here is Isolde. So I'm going to go ahead and start getting my Isolde set up. I do Primordial Soul, which will allow me to get grab Sustenance, which reduces cooldowns. So the goal here is to use Primordial Soul and my Act Agains to cycle my rounds as quickly as possible. Essentially, she essentially gets a to pick a new will every, what was it, 2 rounds? Or yeah, every like 2 or 3 actions she gets to pick a new will. She can also get a new will if she ever kills anything with her 3C, but that's super risky at this point. So yeah, my opponent moves up a bit. Grab Sustenance. Okay, so I don't need to worry about any guard bypassing. So yeah, when you pick a will, it goes on cooldown for essentially 2 rounds, and then on your 3rd round, you'll be able to pick another one. So you usually will open with Primordial Soul, because that lets you start the countdown sooner. So at this point, its cooldown's down to 1 now. But since that's all she's got, I'm going to start popping the Act Agains. So I'm going to knock out Dash here, which gives an Act Again. I'm going to go ahead and go into Transform Langrisser here, which also gives her debuff immunity for a little bit, thanks to her, Inscription talent. And then I go ahead and just put out some terrain. It's not going to stop anything as far as out on Kelma's portals are concerned, but if my opponent does approach here, they could potentially take some damage and get some debuffs. Yeah, my opponent decided not to put up any spellbounds. As of right now, the only things she would actually be able to spellbound is Liana, Hilda, and Hilda. Isolde is immune, Langrisser is immune, and S18 has the Butterfly. So at this point, I go ahead and just pass turn in place. Like I said, my goal here is just to cycle the cooldown for her wills. So I'm going to go ahead and do Act Again with Liana here. Yeah, if you're going up against another Isolde, being able to get your wills up faster than theirs is the key thing. So I now have Solitary, which will get... Solidary, sorry. That will give her the ability to bypass guard. So right now I have 2 wills versus my opponent's 1. Once the 3rd will is achieved, anytime she does an attack, whether it's an AoE or a skill or a normal attack, she'll Act Again. So the goal here is essentially to either find an opening to get a kill in, and if I can't, get to my third will active, and then use that to double tap Isolde. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and do Rainbow Sparkle here. Again, this is mostly just to get speed up the cooldown for Dash again. But I go ahead and use this opportunity to go ahead and do Blessing and give myself a Blessing degree on herself just to get some better buffs up and running, since I don't really have much in the form of faction buffs. So yeah, went over Spellbound. Again, Isolde is immune as long as her shield is up, and S18 had the Butterfly, so it didn't do anything. I go ahead and do 3C on Liana herself, mainly just give her some additional buffs. I definitely took my time in this match because I really kind of had to see what my opponent was going to be doing. I was a little surprised my opponent pushed forward like this. So a few things to note. Right now I move 3 additional spaces, and the portal can reduce movement. I don't know if it's doing it in this case, though. Yeah, I don't think it is. I can't really tell. I think it only affects people that go on foot, and unfortunately Isolde is actually classified as all-terrain. So yeah, with this, I'm able to actually go after Wedam. I'm not sure if I can one-shot Isolde, but one of the skills that you get with, Solitary Journey is a 2-range attack that also bypasses guard as part of it, and after the attack she can actually move 3 space. I think it's like 2 or 3 spaces again. So the idea here is to see if I can get a kill and then get out of there. So move in. And sure enough, plenty of damage. That kill animation seemed kind of lame. I'm just seeing how much damage was it. So I needed to do, what, 30,000? I want to see that again. That looked weird. So I needed to do 24,000. Okay. And then I just fall back into guard range. And I'm not getting hit by any debuffs here because she's currently immune. I nearly got one-shotted by Oracle from Beyond. So I wasn't expecting Autumn to be this dangerous. I really, like I said, I should have had something a bit more defensive. I go ahead and do 3C here. To mainly get more terrain out, but also to do a little bit of healing for Hilda. I mean, it's not going to really save her, but it's better than nothing. It did also silence Lightbringer, which is also pretty helpful. So, as you can see, I'm going to do some portal shenanigans here. And then decides to do just an AoE here. This will take out Isolde's shield, so she is getting hit with debuffs again. But the only things we really need to worry about is Awaken one, who does have a single target. Oh yeah, I didn't even go over my opponent's skills, by the way. I completely forgot. Let's go ahead and use that opportunity. Yeah, good. Okay. So I didn't even go over Wedham's stuff. Wedham has AoEs. It was his Sword Throw, 3C, Shadow Step, and then he had the AoE that can negate healing or guard. Besides that, nothing too special. Lightbringer here has Strengthen, 3C, and Discipline. We got Zolde here, same as mine, pretty much. Probably just different. It may even have the same gear. Awaken 1 has 3C, single target, Doom Oracle with Dimensional Shift, and then Autumn Kelma here is actually 3C, Deflection, and Oracle from Beyond. So let's go ahead and get back to where we were. Alright, so I'll go ahead and use the opportunity to go ahead and heal up since my opponent decided not to get a kill on Hilda. I mean, I guess the reason... Well, I'm trying to think what would be the reason. If Autumn Kelma had just did a basic attack, I'm pretty sure that would have gotten kill on Hilda, and I think that would have been far more effective. Because as you can see here, I'm already just getting rid of the debuffs, and I pretty much undid all the damage. One other thing to note is, as I mentioned before, Liana did do 3C on herself, so she's actually proccing her talent, passive heal, and debuff removal, and the 3C as well. So it's just, that's why so much healing is happening right now. So I go ahead and use this opportunity to go ahead and get resistance up. So now I have all three of them. And my opponent gives up at this point. So yeah, there was literally, my opponent realized, yeah, I have double actions. I can easily reach your opponent. And I would probably just, you know, kind of just win at that point. I believe I had dash at that point. So I could have just ran in and start killing whatever I wanted. So yeah, pretty awesome match. Again, since I got 60 points from the previous match, I was hoping this will be enough to get me the Silver 3, and it did. So we're good to go on that front. Just to show it off, yeah. So if you stay in Bronze 1, this is what you're looking at as far as upgrade rewards. It's really, I mean, it's better than nothing, but honestly, at the very least, I want to get, you know, SSR enchants and crystals. Obviously, Gold 3 has the best because that does get you the epic gift packs for arena stones, but at this point I'm not really starving for arena stones either. But yeah, that's kind of the gist of it. For the season rewards, we got a skin for Fanguards, which looks very those Necro guys from 40k, it looks like. And then we got Roga, who looks like the Terminator. With all that said and done, like I said, I'm taking it pretty casual this season. I'm definitely looking forward to certain characters that are coming out soon, and we'll see how that goes from there. So I am the Depressed Eeyore. This was this was Langrisser Mobile Apex Season 18, and I'll see you guys next time.